Hi, I'm JOGB and this is Jo on the Go. Today I'm catching up with my dentist and I'm finally going to have my braces removed after an entire year. Here I am today, Jo on the Go, and I'm here with the divine. Better say her name then. Dr Uchenna Okoye, who owns London Dentists, which is just one of, it's a holistic dentist. So, you know, if you've ever had issues with your teeth, or your dentist in particular, and you haven't felt like you've been loved and cherished, she's the one. Literally, they put your mind at ease, they calm, the peace, the care, and I think that is something that dentistry really does need in order to get people really looking after their teeth and getting into the dentist chair more. How much do you think people appreciate the value of a smile?
Oh, hugely. I mean, you know, they talk about the smile is the universal language, so that even if you can't communicate, as soon as you smile, then people feel loved, wanted, and the rest of it. And I think people underestimate. No, but people underestimate the impact it makes with confidence. Because I remember even like meeting you initially.
Yes.
You're so different. I mean, you weren't miserable, but you just smiled with your lips.
I know, it's true.
Now,
it's true.
even with, you know,
and more of a downward smile.
Yeah. So to me, I think like, it's not a case of putting down other disabilities, but I actually view having a bad smile a disability, because people haven't got the confidence, they can't communicate well. I've had people that say they've been passed up for promotions and all this kind of stuff because they just look miserable.
Really?
So it's really vital, but then I would say that I'm a dentist.
Yeah, but
it's true.
But you care. I mean, that is a crucial part of dentistry that I think, you know, it's a business, but a business that has longevity and passion, like you do. You know, because you're a real people person, and I think when I've met you on all occasions, you know, everybody gravitates to you because you're such a great persona, and that, you know, that's so easily underestimated. You know, when somebody's in the chair and feeling vulnerable.
Totally. And I think you use the word passion, which just, oh my God, I love what I do. I love being able to, no, but it's like, it goes from saying what you do and asking people about themselves and finding out about them. And because it's seriously, it's an intimate thing, getting into somebody's mouth, you know, and getting in that space. And so I really value that trust that everyone has. And just, people ask me, you know, if you come back in another life, what would you be? And I feel so blessed to be able to say I'd still be a dentist. It makes me a bit weird, but it's true.
That is amazing.
No, I love it. And then when somebody's got, and I think you know that I'm a phobic as well.
Yes.
So I'm actually petrified. So it's that thing of understanding how somebody's feeling. You don't know fear of the unknown. For me, the best bit of going to the dentist is when I'm the other side of the door. And so I totally understand when patients don't want to come and see me completely. Yeah.
Do you think the UK are getting better?
I think we are. I love being from the UK, especially when I teach in the States, because one of the key things about us is that we're all about health. So, for example, wearing braces, you know, if I do a treatment plan and I'm teaching dentists in America, braces isn't part of the equation. They're like, our patients aren't going to do that. Whereas at home, if I say to somebody, look, you know, if you wear braces, it'll be better for your teeth, even though it's going to be wearing it for a year, you know, we'll do it. In America, they're like, are you mad? You know, we want instant, immediate results, even if it means cutting the tooth down or whatever the case may be. So all the kind of programs, you know, 10 years younger and the rest of it has had an impact, because it means people can actually see the before and after. Because you know, dentistry is a big investment, especially if you're doing your smile, and it's not, you know, in a car you can go and you can smell the leather and all that stuff, but with teeth you can't. It's just a case of trust. So yes, we are becoming more aware. The whole selfie thing has helped, rightly or wrongly.
Well, I mean, that's what ended up getting me in your chair, wasn't it? What's that gap between my teeth?
Yeah, completely. Because we're looking at ourselves. That's a very un-British thing as well. Like, we're looking at ourselves as we never have done. True. And sometimes patients come in and they're like, showing me their teeth in angles I'd never considered, because they're like holding the thing up there and they're like, look, can you see that thing? And I'm like, what? That's
funny.
Because the camera shows it.
Right,
So yeah, that's my
get out
husband's.
of my office now.
But they're always right though. There's
Yeah.
always something that can be done
Funny.
no matter what.
Yeah,
So,
that is
yeah.
very funny. And because I'd heard that in the States they're actually backing away from cutting down a healthy tooth and veneering when unnecessary, and that they're actually starting to take our approach, which is quite funny considering they've taken the mickey out of the British teeth for so many decades. Have you found that or heard that?
Completely. I mean, I think it's funny, like about a month ago, I actually had a patient come in from LA for me to do her smile. And the reason was to make it more natural looking. So, you know, my kind of signature smile, I say, is to look like yourself but better. Not to look fake.
Yeah.
So yes, we're still doing all the veneers because, you know, it's great, all the conservative stuff, but sometimes, especially when you're of a more vintage age, which I'm, you know, I'm finding, yes!
I don't know who she means.
me! I'm taking more on the right, have you noticed? But, you know, like this
Vintage.
wear and
I like
tear.
vintage though.
Yeah, it's
I'm going to
true.
use that more. I love vintage. Oh my god, that's going to be a new feature. I love it.
So maybe, you know, we do need them to like add the length and the thickness and stuff like that. But we are definitely, I'd say, cutting edge from the perspective of making it look more natural but beautiful, as opposed to you've been done. You know, there's definitely more of a backlash against that, which I'm delighted about, because I think it's too fake.
So are there any like fascinating new advances that you are looking at that you just think, oh my god, I can't wait to get my hands on this kind of idea and technology, or it's just, you know, it's just evolving?
Yeah, it's funny, everyone always asks me that, and I kind of smile because it's a bit like anything in medicine. I'd say it's the stuff we're doing, but doing it better. So for example, something like braces, you know, we've been bending wires for a century, but now we've got better wires, we've got the aesthetic ones, the white brackets, which we didn't have before. The porcelain that we use now for veneers, they're so fabulous. They're so lifelike and they're luminous, and
She's actually
I'm like, I talk
very
about
erotic.
this, like
erotic
I talk
dentistry.
about that. It's
That's
not
a whole
luminous and just
Look at her.
but yeah, I mean, there is all this kind of stuff, like we're trying to grow new teeth and all that kind of stuff, which is exciting, but it's, you know, years and years away. So I think nowadays, and of course implants, you know, which we didn't have before, have now become almost like having a filling. So that's great. So there are advances in that. That's made things easier and simpler.
Oh good, I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Lining up one of those. So, in terms of gum health, that's an area that I think everybody underestimates, isn't it?
Yes.
And I think it's crazy, really, because, you know, we all know that scalp health is, you know, vital to healthy hair. Why we don't quite realise the same with our gums until there's a problem. It's like going to the dentist when there's a problem rather than when it's
being proactive.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, especially for women, because we've got all these episodes, you know, you have puberty, you have pregnancy, so all the things that are, you know, like when you have the hormones, it does affect your gums, which is why we're more prone to gum disease, we're more prone to all the problems that you can have. So that we really need to kind of be proactive in looking after ourselves. And of course we're always the last one, looking after everybody else. So just thinking about those ages, so like if somebody, for example, before they're getting pregnant, if you're thinking about getting pregnant, just like if you're going to run a marathon, I say go into training. You know, get your mouth healthy, so that there's no bacteria there, etc. And so all that, you know, like when I do the show, and so many of these women would come in and their teeth are all crumbled and moved, and they've got really bad smiles, and a lot of it's to do with the gums. You know, so as the gums get disease, you lose bone, the teeth start moving around, you get recession, it then looks ugly, and then that's when people are like, could we fix it? Unfortunately. And unfortunately gum disease doesn't hurt, so nobody comes early. But the key thing to get away from with everybody, and I'm speaking to you, if your gums bleed, do something about it. You know, the thing is, people say, "Oh, my gums have always bled. They don't hurt. They've been bleeding for the last 10 years." It's just like,
oops.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Now-
do that if it was
now
in
you
the
tell
part of
me.
your mouth. So yeah, they're not supposed to bleed.
Yeah,
So we can
yeah.
reverse that.
Yeah, absolutely. And collagen depletion. Now, is there anything, because obviously that is what, because of that big trend, well, I think it's a big trend, because obviously I've got one on, for braces in midlife, because the teeth start to shift so much.
Yeah.
Because, can you explain a little bit about what happens in the mouth with that?
Yeah, basically it's just that thing of getting more vintage. The tooth equivalent.
You're making it
of,
sound adorable.
It is.
I'm quite happy to be
part of
vintage now.
experience. As we get older, collagen, we lose collagen, it unravels, everything starts dropping down south.
Yeah.
So the dental equivalent is the crowding that happens in your mouth.
Yeah.
So things get looser. And the reason, for the braces is the thing is, you know, if your teeth are crowding, the one thing that I know is it's going to get worse. There's no getting away around that. And often I'll say to patients, you know, maybe if you can't afford to have braces, just get a retainer, which is like a very fine wire, and at least it'll just keep it there and they'll stop it from moving anymore. Yeah. But in talking, actually, you know, when you were saying about new innovations, one of the things we're starting to do and explore more is a bit of fillers, not just for the lips but for the gums as well.
Right.
So we're starting to like inject, you know, the collagen in there.
Okay.
So just in certain pockets. At the moment, and again, like fillers, it, you know, it doesn't last that long because the body breaks down collagen naturally. Sure. But then you can keep like plumping it up. So
it's helping to restructure.
Yeah, exactly. So in the same way that, you know, you have nice plump lips and it looks youthful and fabulous. So if you've got kind of receding thin gums, that looks aging. So the other builds everything up as well.
Oh, interesting. Gosh, that is true.
Like, now can you give me gum fillers?
So do you do any cheek fillers while they're in the chair?
No, you just have to smile. Lady. There you go. They comes up there.
Good lady. This is the cheek gang. Invisalign versus fixed braces, or drain tracks, which personally made me feel like a teenager. Probably all about an hour, but I embraced that moment quite happily. Why would one go versus the other?
That's a great question, actually, because
God, I can still manage one in my career.
And like, look at how it's a really good question, because it's like, why one? So often, if it's really challenging, train tracks tend to be more effective. So something like Invisalign is what we call removable braces. So they're great. Let's say if your teeth is like this and you just tip it, and you like, let's say like this, and you want to tip it like that. They're brilliant for just tipping movements. However, if a tooth is, say, here and you want to move it here, move it like this, the fixed braces are better. Right. So they bodily move the teeth.
That's fast.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, often with something like Invisalign, you can get the end result, but it takes so much longer. And also, I found that with a lot of adults, they don't persevere. They give up because it takes a lot of dedication. Because if you wear the Invisalign, you wouldn't have done that.
You know
I remember we talked about that, and she said, like, no, it's not gonna.
Like, you have to take it out when you have a hot drink. That's not going to happen. You have to take it out when you eat?
Yes.
No, well,
you're supposed to wear it 24/7 and only take it out to eat and put it back in.
Just never.
So you need to be almost obsessed about it.
Yeah.
And people, and I try and convince a lot of guests, and they start halfway through, and then they end up going for the fix. So, that's the reason. But they do, you know, for the right clinical case, both of them will give you the end result, but the fix tends to be faster.
And slightly more painful than the Invisalign?
Not really. I think it's just about what you're doing. It depends on how complicated it is and how much movement. So if it's just a little bit, it won't hurt as much, obviously. But even with Invisalign, is really clever, actually, because what they do is that they make it so that the pressure's in the plastic, and so as you wear it, it pushes the tooth to where it needs to be. Then it becomes looser, and so then that means you yourself every 2 weeks you can change it, and that's why it's also slightly cheaper, because you don't have to be in the surgery for so long.
Right. Okay.
conservative.
Yeah, just compliant.
Yeah, that's the word, the posh word, the compliance.
Yeah, compliant.
I would be rubbish at Invisalign as well. I need to have it done to me.
Impatient.
Yeah.
But I mean,
You're almost there.
I'm almost there. Hence, yeah, that's partly why we're here, because they're going to come off. La 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 la.
It's like celebration.
So exciting.
Normally I ask everybody, it's like, what's the thing you're going to eat to celebrate? Because you know, like you can't eat chewy, gooey.
I'll enjoy a lovely green salad that isn't stuck between my teeth and very embarrassing, 2 hours later when somebody goes, I've eaten.
Yeah.
And I've been walking around
And
smiling and saying hello to everybody. And
it is all that, because actually
God.
it's a great way of cutting down snacking. Because everyone's like, when I think, guests come and they're like, and I'm just about, there you go,
Just
go through all that.
It's not worth it. Have braces for a perfect diet.
Yes.
I mean, soup. I know. My biggest is nuts, and I've tried but it's again,
Gets
it's
everywhere.
like the effort is like, why did I have a nut? It's like, what about whitening? Is that still? I mean, that's still hugely prevalent, isn't it? Because it's such an instant transformer.
Yeah. It's the biggest way to have. I think teeth and hair, as we know, is the key thing, and whitening is the simplest and most effective way. Because we talk about that the if you look at the colour of the whites of your eyes, they don't change from birth, and so obviously the youngest is when you're born. So when we whiten our teeth, and that's why the lower third of your face is the thing that matters the most. It's such a big expanse of white that it impact. You get more. It lights up your face, etc. So if you can, and it doesn't matter whether you're doing the home whitening or the in-surgery laser whitening, both of them give the same end result. It's just about speed. So for everybody, yes, if I was queen for a day, I'd be like, the whole nation should have teeth whitening. I'm sure it would.
But see, when you explain it like that, it's like, of course.
It's just straightforward.
Of course.
Yeah. And it's great for gums as well. And it's actually how we discovered whitening, because people that had gum disease, they used the product, the peroxide, to treat after they've had surgery, and suddenly noticed the gums are healing. Oh my God, and the teeth are getting whiter. So it's actually, it has a therapeutic effect as well. So think like if I have say older patients that are having like lots of decay, because of all the medication, their mouth dries up and stuff. I get them to like whiten every 6 months, and it just helps keep the bacteria away. So it's good for you too.
I would say on this point, book me in. But guess what? I'm about to go and have these out, so I'm already having my appointment. So see you soon. Seeing you right now. See you soon with a gleaming smile. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Definitely will be even more than now. Beautiful.
Hope you enjoyed Joe on the Go, and thank you for watching. Please like, follow, subscribe to my various channels on Instagram, YouTube, and do check out my lifestyle wellness blog, Living It Up, on jogbliving.com.